Alright, that's about as far away as I can get it so you can get the whole thing in here. So it looks like there's, 10 of these nuts that I have to remove. 2. And looks like each nut's incorporated with a lock washer, and then it looks like there's another washer underneath it. Let me get the nuts off first. I already loosened them, that's why I'm turning them. I loosened them with my ratchet. There are 3/8 nuts. At least I loosened some of them. And I threw the rest of them on the ground. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. And over here, I'll have to get in here with this. And I don't know if you can see the last one, because I can't really see what the camera's looking at. Now this one does not have a washer on it, which I'm thinking probably should have one. And these washers do come off. There's a washer, a flat washer. 1, 2. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, this one has 2 of them. That's probably where the other one went. 8. Oh, I forgot that nut over there. There's one right here. Which, can you see my finger? No, you can't. It's over here. Still can't see it. Doesn't it figure? Let me turn the camera a little bit. This one right here, I'm gonna have to take this connector off because the nuts right up again it, as they say. So pull this connector off. That still doesn't give me a lot of room, but I think it's enough room that I can get the nut off. I can clean under that connector as well. Yeah, that's right up against that terminal too, so something else to watch out for. This little guy here. So what did we end up with then? What was the grand total? Is that like 11? I didn't see any more up top there, but I didn't really look too well. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this would be 11 over here. Let me get the little flat washers off of you two. 1 and 2. That's an odd number of nuts. So we're going to see if I missed one. No, it doesn't appear it. So looks to me like this is just going to lift straight up maybe. This connector here, which is also crooked, the data connector, looks like that may have to come off. Just keeping it from... Alright, well, I got it off. Now, in theory, this should... We still kind of lined up. You couldn't see where I was working. I was working up in here. This connector was here and it was blocking me from opening this up. Looks like there's another data cable here, and this one, this is the front one. I'll show you that. Same story. This one only has one nut on it. There's the other cable out of the way. Now we'll see if it flips open. Sure does, at least enough to get to what I have to get to. Oh, it's got these. I was wondering what this is for. Let me see. I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing to. Right here. I'll bet you that I can slide this and it'll latch in there. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Another loose screw. Don't know what that's all about. Looks like a missing screw. A lot of dust under here, so I'll get to cleaning that up as well again. Looks like some kind of sealer or something, or I don't know, maybe it's a gum band or something. Rubber band, as some people say. No, it looks like metal. I'm not sure why that's there, like a ring of metal, like it tore off a nut or something. And these, I was wondering what they were, and I saw them on the top. I guess maybe they're rings for lifting this plate out of here if you take all those screws out. So, not sure why. Again, things are left loose and not working. Alright, let me tighten these down, clean this up, clean that up, then we'll get the capacitor in there, put it back together. And I'm really just hoping that there's not something I'm missing here that this should do that it doesn't do, or vice versa. So we just get to cleaning and I'll be right back. Alright, I got it vacuumed up a good amount, and I'm going to actually see if I can switch to plugging this thing in, because it looks to me like the battery's about to die. So I don't know if I'll lose it while I plug this in. Oh, I lost it alright. Let's see. Alright. It's plugged in. Still seems to be recording. So let's see. These ones are broken. These ones need replaced. I believe I got to cut these three, yeah, to get to that. And hopefully I can make this fit. I never even really tried it. Here's my capacitor creation. So let's see. Let me cut those and see if I can get that out of there. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Rest the way out. Now I gotta heat up. Let's see. There'll be one right here probably. And by the way, this solder joint here is actually it's cracked. For the capacitor. I'm going to actually need to turn this a little bit. I can't see what I'm doing. I can't work like this. I can't work under these conditions. All right. That should be a tad better. I don't really know that you're going to see much of anything anyhow. A little bit of solder on it to freshen up the solder. Alright, there's one. I'm imagining this is going to be the other end. Come on. Again, fresh solder to... Sounds weird, but it makes the soldering gun work better when it has fresh solder to work with. Sometimes I put flux on them too. But let's see if I can... Try and pull this out from the other end. Would have worked if I would have had the doohickey on correctly. Alright. That's one. Let me see what my... Where the heck did I put my capacitor at? Oh, there it is. Let me see if my lead from Franken capacitor works. Where is it? Right here. Oh yeah, that'll go through. That'll be nice. Alright, let me get the other side and clean that side out as well. Put this down here at that hole. This is going to be a stretch. I don't know if... I think I got it, which would be weird. Had a lot of things to work against there. For one thing, my hands were reaching way to the end of their ability. And the other thing, my solder sucker is starting to get full, so I have to take it apart and clean it. Sometimes the solder just comes out the end, sometimes not so much. But anyhow, as I was saying, it was hard reaching around that. Plus, that's the ground side, so it had a big ground plane, so it took a little bit more to heat it up. Look at that dust! Incredible. All right, so let me flip it over, or flip it back the way it was, and we'll see if that capacitor is even going to fit. I may have to cut that heat shrink stuff that I put on there. It's kind of like a heat shrink tape tube stuff, cookie lick, you know. Okay, this guy goes back down like so. Make sure all these bolts line back up through their holes. And let me see. So, it was like this, telling me that the plus side is, and I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah. I'll move back so you get a little more of the big picture here. Okay, so it was telling me that it was mounted in here like this. And this is saying this is the plus side. So This is the negative side, so this will go down here. And then the plus side is right here. This will go up here. So I'm going to have to lift this back up to feed my leads through correctly. And I'll bend them a little bit. Okay, so let me bend these leads out of the way, and we'll put this lid back on. I think that's going to fit. That looks like that'll cover. I don't think that'll be a problem. Originally I looked at it, I thought it's going to be too high, but I don't think so. So this is basically two 1200 microfarads in parallel, and the lowest voltage that I could get close to it was 63 volts, which that's fine being over in voltage, but that's going to of course make your size bigger. So what I did is I just wired these two in parallel, and let me just, and I'll clamp that back down like the other one was. And in theory, we should be good to go. So I gotta stand it back up and solder it in. Make sure the plus side is here, the negative side goes around the bend. That's a little bit of, this has a sealer inside of it. I didn't want to make it too hot, so I made it just hot enough that it would kind of get the sealer warm and stick to the capacitors and hold them steady. And I didn't want it to look like it was too engineered, because I want it to be obvious to somebody that something happened here, and maybe they'll realize that there's two capacitors. So okay, let me stand this little guy back up. I guess it's not a little guy, but we'll stand it back up anyhow. Alright, let's back this up a little bit. There we go. Got the new caps in, the new zip ties on. Starting to put the board back together. Put the data connectors back on. I need one more nut for one of them, but they're on nice and straight now. I probably have some of those somewhere. I know I do actually. I just saw a big back of them. Alright, so the front panel here, the disgustingness around all these buttons is just kind of sickening. So I want to, I pulled the ribbon cable and plugs from right here, and hopefully it only goes back on one way. Let's see. So I just wanted to see what will be involved to get to those switches, and like I said, it came apart easy enough that far. So I'm going to take some of these screws out here, and again, the disgusting looking screwdriver has touched these and destroyed them, but I don't think those have to come out. I think they're for the bracket. So these ones here. Alright, let me get what I do with my container to put my screws in. I got to get all that. That thing's so darn heavy that every time I move it, I have to kind of find a place to put everything else. Alright, well, these three fiber washers fell, and I have no idea where they fell from. So why would they have fiber washers somewhere? I was on the phone, so I had to turn the camera off. And I just pulled these two boards apart. They were together like that. And there was a plug. Hopefully you're catching all this. Plugs in up there. The fiber washers, where would they be? Why would they be? Is the question. There's only 3. Which is kind of weird. Well, no, they wouldn't be there. I was going to say, unless they went in the center ones. But each one of these is a ground. So I don't understand why there would be just 3 fiber washers somewhere. Unless they do these 3 because they're only into the board. But that wasn't the side where the washers came from. They actually seem to come from down here. So just having the camera run in case something else falls out, and maybe we'll see it. I don't know if I have the service manual up there or the assembly manual that would tell me where those fiber washers would live. So I can just take these nuts off. Are you nuts? And then everything else should come out. If I take the nuts off, everything else will follow, I guess. So let me see. What do I need to make that happen? 5/16 or 8mm for those of you that use metric. Okay. What do I have to do to get you guys to come up? Another lock washer. Probably some of these flat washers are going to be stuck because they look to be just the right size of the thread, like that guy there. See, pull. There's 1, 2, 3. Still doesn't help me where the fiber washers go. Jeez, okay. Well, I got all of that off. So let me just clean the inside of this. Oh, and then there's washers on the bottom here too. That might be the reason for the fiber washers, to make up some kind of distance. Because again, those 3 don't have anything. So let me get this and clean up this plate. So here I'll show you the switches while we're look at the ring of dirt. Hopefully you can see that around each of the switches. And it's like real sticky. I don't know what it is. And then some of these switches, they just make a contact there, and I'm wondering if I can just clean that with either contact cleaner or what's that stuff called that everybody uses? The switch cleaner. I can't remember. Oh, I have a bottle over there. I'll probably go get that. See which one will work best. And then I'll stick it back together. Probably gonna end up. I gotta get in here and clean each one of these as well. I hate to think what that actually is. You know, it came off of somebody's fingers or from years and years of pushing these buttons. I hate to squirt it on there, then everything will be Yucky. Alright, let's take these off, otherwise I'm going to lose them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, I gotta take this over to the wash tub, I guess. So I accidentally took this one out when I was taking it apart. I put it back together. The 3 fiber washers felt, one stayed in there. Now I didn't know that at the time, but when you go to put it back together, it's better to take these both out, because the pain in the butt is lining up these LEDs down here, because they have to fit through there, and then they have to switch and come in through here, and they're a little bit tricky to get those lined up. In fact, I think this one needs to be moved forward a little bit. But anyhow, when I went to take this side off, I noticed the fiber washers, and I thought, well, there's 4. Why? Well, when I took the side back off, I saw one stuck to the board. So I did have 4. So anyhow, you have 4 on there, 4 on there. And like I said, when you put this back together, getting the all the LEDs lined up is a real pain. So we'll go and stick it back on, so I'll put back together and make sure that it works. Okay, so there it is, fired up again. Kind of at the back, same point it was. Let's give me 29, frequency to 9 megahertz, and amplitude, we'll go with minus, let's put amplitude minus 73 dBm, and let's turn the radio on. See if we get something at 29. I'm going to turn the antenna back off again. There we go. A little bit better than an S9. 29. Let's turn on the amplitude AM. I'm not sure what that's all about. Let's see. External, why is it FM on? Off. AM, off. AM, internal. There we go. Alright, so we got that. Well, that doesn't seem to be working correctly. Turn that off. Amplitude. Oh. Now it's working, but there seems to be a problem with the I'll get the word out yet. The attenuator, and I'm not sure how that works out here, because now I hit the 73 still. Let's see. Let's just set it again. Amplitude 73 minus dBm. dBm. So, you know, that's given me about a 9 dB, but I don't hear the AM signal. Power it on and back on, see what happens. Okay, so that's interesting. When you power it on, it's okay. Let's see. Let me turn this down a little bit. I'll turn it off actually. Well, it's easier for you to hear the maybe that tone's not quite as annoying. And we'll get it down to minus 73 dBm. Let's see. Oh, it's going to work every time. Alright, I guess I have to find out how the attenuation works in this, or the amplification, whichever's changing. It seemed like the minus 83 and everything else was working. Or I mean, I'm sorry, the minus 63. Something when I got to a value higher than minus 73, more positive, should I say, it seemed to be working. I can't say it was working correctly, but I was shown an S9 with like minus 43. There we go. So let's see, minus amplitude. Yeah, the funny thing there is I'm not getting the signal though. That's right there is a plus 10 or plus 20. I can't see it completely, but there's no tone. Oliver, hey, it's me, Pinhead. No, it's me, you weirdo. Well, now it's back. No, Oliver, there's no knocking at the amp or at the signal generator. There's nothing knocking there. I'm not sure how long I'll be carrying this video on. It's going to be working forever and ever. But that's where I'm at. And if you've ever seen anything like this, feel free to comment. I don't always get to read my comments. For some reason, I'm not always notified there are comments there, and then I'll be checking something out months later and I'll see a comment. So don't take it personal if I don't respond to your comments. It's just I don't I don't know what I'm doing. So again, thanks for watching, and if you're taking one of these apart, hopefully this helped and gave you some ideas of what you're in for. And as I move on with this, if I find anything more, it'll be like the TS940. We'll be taking it apart and fixing things. Thanks for watching. Bye.